Welcome back. This is another of the foundational personal elements. It's called being a salesperson. What does it actually mean to be a salesperson? Not so much what a salesperson does, but what sort of thoughts do they think? How do they become a salesperson? Now, everybody sells something every day. We convince our friends to go to a party. We sell our kids the idea that doing their homework is good for them. We convince ourselves another slice of cake is okay, and perhaps some of us do that more than we should. So it's just a matter of finding out where you do it best. There are plenty of different sales roles and plenty of different types of selling, so don't obsess about one particular kind or even one company. Keep moving until you find the right environment for you. It's a bit like plants in a garden. Some like the shade, some like the sun. It's important always to keep a growth mindset. And that's the idea that you're never a finished article, you're always growing, you're always a work in progress. Every event either gets you close to the deal or helps you improve for the next time. Learning is earning, it's just delayed a little. The more you learn, the bigger and better the deals will get. And there is a lot of learning on the way to the big deals. Believe me, I know. Now, you will never be perfect. So if there is something that you just can't get your head around, then don't despair. It's perfectly okay to do what we call covering, to cover up. And that means you do your best and make it up elsewhere, or you partner with someone who can help out for that particular part of the sales process. In B2B sales, this is quite common because it's actually much more of a team sport than straightforward retail sales, for example. I used to cover for my colleagues by doing their strategy workshops with their customers, and then they used to help me out with the complicated spreadsheet models we used to have to create. Bear in mind that choosing to learn something can be a project in itself, and so you do need to figure out whether it's actually worthwhile to learn a new skill or whether you should just cover. Team up. Get a friend to trade skills with you. Doing your best and accepting it won't be perfect is always an option, but you can also try maybe leaving it out if that's possible, outsourcing it to another department or even a company, or replacing it with something that you can do that's just as good. For example, if you can't do written quotes well, like a colleague of mine, then do it in the form of a presentation and add in a couple of pages of notes to show the details, which is what he used to do, and his customers loved it. The point is, a successful salesman is never defined by their weaknesses. They just cover them up, and that allows them to focus on their strengths. In one of my roles, we created an entire virtual team of supply chain designers made up from suppliers. So the technical work was done by others, whilst we focused on the customer relationship and the sales process itself. And that worked really well. There's only one note of caution here, is that you must never outsource the customer relationship, because that is always at the heart of any sale. Now, you are only a salesperson if you have customers. The customer relationship is dependent on these particular elements, the key parts of being a successful B2B salesperson. Firstly, communication. This uses your emotional intelligence, your EQ. You create a trusting environment so clients happily reveal to you their needs. Your EQ, your empathy quotient, is your ability to see the world through your customer's eyes, which really means understanding their customer better than they do, and appreciating the way their company is structured and makes decisions. Next, winning trust. At its most basic level, trust is built when promises are made and promises are kept. Positive reinforcement with a customer like this will get them used to not questioning your judgment, and that's at the very heart of what trust is. Now, another one is critical thinking, which uses your intelligence quotient, your IQ. You add value to your customer through reframing their needs in ways that allow solutions to become clear. You use your knowledge, your experience, and your analytical skills to shine a light on problems that were dark and worrying for the customer. You literally show them the way. Now, you do this through asking hard questions in a soft way. by telling stories that you understand and empathize, and that you've been through a similar situation and know exactly what to do. Your awareness of what's possible and the choices we can make along the way are the value that you create in the sales process itself, independent of the value your product or service brings. You acknowledge the customer's reality, but you never accept it unconditionally, because it is in questioning it that you show them the way through it and the value you can add by being a salesperson.